Good afternoon. It's Thursday, And instead of a friend stream, well, I shouldn't say instead of a friend stream. If friends want to join, then that's fine. But I always figured, since I like fighting games so much, why not stream one? And, of course, Sega, with their good graces, made a Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown, like, free on PS Plus. I figured, why not try that game out? Because I've never played a Virtua Fighter since, like, I was a kid with the PC demo of Virtua Fighter 2 back in the day. So, naturally, I don't really know anything, because kids only mash buttons. So we're gonna learn from zero. If you have any questions about general fighting game knowledge that I might pick up on, that you might not, then feel free to ask. But other than that, I know absolutely nothing about Virtua Fighter. So I guess let's get started. Ooh, it's spooky trying to get this off the ground, but eventually I wanted to like teach people about fighting games and stuff. Eventually, we'll get there. Eventually. Hopefully everything's working out. But I'm just gonna like go over the basics of fighting game knowledge, or what you should be trying to do when you learn a fighting game for the first time. Now, if the last 2 minutes looked exciting to you in any degree, then congratulations, you're already in it, sort of. Basically, what you want to do with a fighting game is if it looks interesting to you, then go for it. That's the very first thing. Before anything else. Just like, hey, I wanna look at that, and I wanted to be like these people on this full screen mode that that AMT was like, hey, you want to look at online matches at the main menu immediately? That's so cool. I like that. Okay, but that aside, the very first thing you want to do, assuming that you've already gotten into a fighting game, right, is you want to what is that word? You want to not associate, you want to familiarize yourself with buttons, how the game works, the mechanics. So, of course, there's a tutorial, there's things. We're gonna jump into free training for a second. Don't be afraid to go into training. At this point, it doesn't even matter which character you pick, although you could just go with the character that you thought was coolest in that one moment that you were like, I like this game. And for me, back in the day, that was actually Leon. I know not a lot of people like Leon because of his fighting style, but whatever. Not the PS2, the PC version of Virtua Fighter 2, that demo only had Leon and Sarah as playable characters, so naturally I learned to play Leon. Not even that well, but that's aside from the point. What you want to do is get used to the buttons, because a Virtua Fighter has a really unusual control scheme. As far as fighting games today go, it has a 3-button scheme. You have your punch, you have your kick, and you have the guard button. And that's it. Everything else is like movement and stuff. And somehow, out of that, AM2 managed to develop one of the most, what do we call it? Technical is the correct word. One of the most technical fighting games in, like, fighting game history. So, you've got that, you've got that. Alright, I think I'm getting back into it, sort of. You have of course, you have your command normals, which you have your forward punch, you have forward kick, back, up and down as well. There's not really a jump in this game. It's sort of like not the 8-way movement from Soul Calibur, but like it's kind of like Tekken, because Tekken was developed inspired by this, right? Alright, and now that you've gotten a sort of feel for what the game is going to be like, now you start learning your commands. And you would do this for about a fair amount of characters. If you haven't decided on a character at this point, then you don't feel afraid to, go around the character select and just see who strikes your fancy. Word on the grapevine is that Lau and Jackie are like 2 of the most beginner-friendly characters, so we'll start with them, but feel free to choose whoever you want. Excuse me. This, or okay, so what do we got? Punch, kick's knocked down for some reason. At least 5 kick does. Some have different priorities depending on your commands at the time. All right, so let's check out the command list. Okay, so we've got that and that and that. Is there a way to put that up on the thing? Probably not. Put your commands on the. There you go. Do that. Pop. Pop. And then, what I'm looking for is. Oh, where is it? Hang on, give me a sec. Command training. I think that's it. As before, if you have any sort of questions while I'm going about, relearning this game, or relearning Virtua Fighter in general, feel free. Pop, okay, and then punch, 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 kick, which is 3 punches, 1 kick. Now this one, of course, punch, 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 and then after the 3rd punch, I have to put down. I have to put an input down. 1, 2, 3, and that sweeps the opponent. Okay, so we can keep that in mind. Now we're not going to memorize all of the. We're not going to memorize all of the things. That's like impossible, right? Trying to memorize all of the commands for all the characters. You don't want to do that because you're overloading yourself for someone that's doing this for the first time. So what you want to do is take like a handful of moves that you want to like take in like 10, 15 of sequences that you think are really good, and then go into like online or like single player mode and try and feel out what you should be doing with that character. 1, 2, punch, kick, and guard at the same time. Okay, so after this punch, kick, then I have to hit all 3 buttons at the same time. So, and then he goes into that stance. I imagine we're going to do something with the stance a little bit later, but it doesn't seem important right now. So we're just going to keep going. Okay, that red arrow at the top was meant that you're supposed to hold down the button. So this is forward tap, punch, and then this is forward hold tap, and it does something else. Okay. Okay, and then we're gonna go into the stance again. Nope. Nope. All right. Okay, so it looks like Lao has a whole bunch of stances, stance cancels? A whole bunch of moves that he can cancel into stance. So let's do that again. Just to see that there we go. Anyway, back forward punch. And that knocks down. Okay, that looks like it could be important. Hang on. Yeah, you can follow up after that. With what? I don't know yet, but that's not the point. We're not there yet. We're just looking at commands. Okay, so we've got a double back punch punch. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Again, all of these... Oh, that's not it. Oh, kick and guard. Do I have that? Oh no! Hang on. There we go. Oh, is there a... No. Which one? Will you show me? Is that something that they can do? No? Okay. Oh, get out of that stance, please. Okay, so holding down. Back forward punch. Hang on. Some of these get a little tricky. And that could be your... But don't be discouraged, because, again, we're only looking to memorize like 10 or 15 of these moves. What exactly am I doing? What exactly am I doing wrong? Hang on. No? Okay. Oh dear. Okay. Well, there goes that. I got that one though. I think it just might be the awkward motions, but it's okay. Oh, nope, that's not. Alright. Nope, that's the wrong button. Nope. Oops. I keep getting kick instead of... Oh yeah, I'm definitely just getting kick instead of thing. And one thing you can do, if you're having trouble, you know, doing with the inputs, is you can set it to a certain button if you want. Right now, PKG is set to L2, so really I should be doing that instead. So I'm gonna be, instead of hitting the buttons, the face buttons, I'm gonna try using L2, and we'll see how that goes. Simple, easy. You just go through the motions just like that. Back into stance. All right. Is there anything we could do off of stance? Now I'm curious. No, okay. Well, I tried. Kick. Alright, now we're going on to kicks. That's fine. While rising inputs. Okay, so basically you want to hit, in this instance, you want to hit K as you're going back into rising stance. So the timing window is a little small, but it looks like that, basically. But if you do it too late, or if you hit the kick button too soon, you get this. And if you hit the kick button too late, you get this. But you want this. And you'll know you get it because I kick and knock down. Pop, pop. Senjutai. Kick. And then that, and then... charge inputs. I wasn't even aware these were in the game, but here we go. We're gonna hold down punch and kick together. And it does that. As opposed to, no, just tapping punch and kick together. This... but while charging, you can go back into stance with the back input. So as a sort of like fake out. There must be something to do with that stance. Otherwise, most of these, there wouldn't be so many like cancels into this. All right. So let's see. Pop and pop, pop. Now we're getting into like combined inputs, which aren't really necessary, but it does help flesh out your offense later on. But that's for later on. Does he feel alright? probably not safe, though. It looks neat. Ah, alright. I'm gonna keep this sequence in mind. I just came up with it off the top of the dome, but it looks like it might be neat for catching some people off guard. So let's see. Alright, back to yeah, alright. Oh, kick and guard. Do I have that? I do. It's R2. Now the normal the inputs on the face button are square is guard, triangle is punch, and kick is circle. So trying to hit circle and square at the same time might be a little awkward. So again, that's where the button macros come into play. Nope, not that. As you can see, it's set to R2 right now. And that's just default stuff. So you'd hit forward R2, and then forward R2. Oh, I like that. I like this move. It looks cool. It's probably not very good in the long term. But we'll figure that out once we actually start getting into some matches. From Kokei. Ah, okay. So from the stance that we were doing earlier. Okay, so the simplest way that I remembered doing the stance, and if you ever forget, like, ways to go into stances, then you could just, oh, look at the command list, it's fine. And if you don't have that on hand or anything like that, I'm going to show you a neat little thing that you could look up. Apparently, and I just learned about this 2 days ago, but there's a website called virtuafighter.com where you could just look at all of the just about everything. It has just about everything that you could look at, that you could find. Like the Virtua Fighter community is a very dedicated community. So we just go into commands and combos and events and who's streaming Virtua Fighter? You could do that too. Basically, commands for every character, certain sample combos, if you're so curious. And let's see. There he is. There's Lau. Yep, there's everything that we've been learning up to this point. Let's see if we can bring up. There was something that I wanted to look at, but I don't remember what it was. Kicks. Oh yeah, if you want to get into like the frame data and stuff like that, you can. There is, but for beginners, this is not really necessary. If you want to learn frame data, go ahead. It's gonna take a little time, but for the time being, it really is just learning